You're absolutely nuts, because they're whether they're seeing it one-sided or not, they're portraying it one-sidedly. And, there's a whole lot of, they're acting as if the Republican Party is some giant monolith. Now, we're not Republicans, but even I know that the Republican Party has many wings or factions,
right.
However you want to call it. There is a vast diversity of opinion, and when it comes down to this strategy on Obamacare, the gulf between the strategists is pretty darn wide.
Deep and wide, brother.
So, that's one thing that should tell everybody that we're being shot a line of hooey.
But now the Democrats, on the other hand, there is no other factions. There is no other opinion. There is no difference in strategies.
Except last night there were 9.
I just saw 32 Democrats vote with the Republicans on right now in the House on a continuing resolution 72 or a continuing resolution to suspend the rules so that they can pass another attempt by the Republicans to put an end to this thing. It's funny. They keep saying that the Republicans won't even come to the table, because they're holding the government hostage.
They have sent to Harry Reid a proposal that Harry doesn't like.
They've sent him multiple proposals.
And that Barack Obama doesn't want. They are all or nothing. You will either fund all of Obamacare, let the president do whatever he wants with the stroke of his little executive pen, or they will hold. They're holding the rest of the
give nothing. Nothing.
Those people down in Huntsville right now that are furloughed. All those NASA folks that are furloughed.
Sorry, breaking news. Speaking of really awful things. The service academies have suspended their athletics, meaning Army, Navy, and Air Force
They may not play football this weekend, folks.
It is now affecting college football. They know how to the media knows, and the Democrats know how to play the media to really get people to hate Republicans.
And frankly,
Republicans took high score college football.
You just saw that, by the way, on Fox.
Yeah.
So, congratulations, Fox. Why don't you just do their dirty work for them?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Of course.
Thanks a lot. You know what, man? I don't think anybody...
They are mainstream media, dude. I mean, Glenn Beck was saying that today. The whole process of the mainstream media, they're all connected. It's like a big incestuous family. They just keep going from network to network to network,
with occasional stops in the White House along the way. Let's be just crystal clear here.
Because that's what it's. That's what you all. That's what they all aspire to. I mean, look, that one of my favorite press secretaries,
Dana Perino,
came from the Fox News Channel.
Oh, Tony Snow.
Tony Snow.
Yeah.
He was probably one of the best press secretaries that we've had, and he came from Fox. But dude, they're all behind. They're all in it together. They're all behind the whole thing. Even Fox News. Now, granted, they do give they are the only mainstream media outlet to give the conservative point of view. The only one.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
But they are part of the mainstream.
So
and look, Rush, tell them.
And the Republicans don't know what to...
Wait a minute. I'm sorry.
And the Republicans don't know...
Sorry about that.
The AP story on this is, and you got to figure now, I don't know how many people read newspapers, but I know that a lot of people get their news online now. At places like Yahoo or Twitter or whatever, and people get their news from AP. Much as you might wish it weren't so, AP is published in over 4,000 or 5,000 different places every day. And it's basically a press release from the Democrat Party on this whole thing. And they have a story. It's by a guy named Andrew Taylor, and it starts out, with the government teetering on the brink of partial shutdown, congressional Republicans vowed Sunday to keep using an otherwise routine federal funding bill to try to attack the president's health care law. So, the opening line, teetering on the brink. We're almost ready to go over the cliff. Do you know that? We're almost ready. This whole government is about to just be brought up short because these Republicans, this story goes on to say that Republicans don't want people to have health care. That they dislike the president so much that they don't want people to have health care. And the Republicans don't know what to do to fight back against any of this. It's just flat-out journalistic malpractice. There is no pretense. There's not even an objective pretense here to portray the Republican position on this anywhere near accurately. It is a multiple 100-word hit piece. You won't read the kind of stuff from the AP about the Iranians or the Syrians that you read about the Republicans in the Associated Press or anywhere in the drive-by media. It really is an outrage, but it's going to be seen. Countless impressions all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why he's El Rushbo, because that summed it all up right there from the beginning, where he says this is like a press release written by the Democrat Party.
I mean, this whole idea, Republicans, and I've read this on multiple websites today. Republicans do not want people to have health care. That's the statement.
That is one of the most insane statements that could be made, but they preach it as if it is the gospel.
Yeah, and I mean, what advantage would it serve a political party, any political party, to suddenly decide, you know what, we just want people to die.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We don't want people to have health care. Because they're not even saying insurance.
Right.
They're saying
they don't want you to have health care.
And see, this whole thing of equating insurance with health care, that's where the lie starts, right there. That is where the lie starts.
Well,
because
it's like
only the insurance industry profits from convincing you that you have to have insurance or you just die.
Well, now wait. On the piece before this, the Mika piece, all right? The guy that interjected there that was, trying to say that, this is not government health care. This is the private, this private business is here. This is, private
if
insurance.
The government
that
makes
was a
you buy
doctor, by the way.
Yeah, if the government makes you buy it, then there is no free market. See, that's just it. The free market, it's dead.
Well, Harry Reid himself has said the end game
is single payer, which means we all get on Medicare.
And it's a really fancy way of saying that the government takes over Blue Cross and Aetna and all these other major insurance companies. They are no longer they will not be private insurance companies. They will all work for the government. They will just be absorbed by the government. They won't even be able to have their names anymore, probably.
So the free market, I don't even know why they call it a market. It's not a market.
It's not. It most certainly is not. They talk about, the Republicans, they keep using the phrase, holding the government hostage. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you tell someone, either you do this or you will be penalized like this. Isn't that sort of a way of holding someone hostage too? I mean, like saying you will either buy health insurance or we will sick the IRS on you. And if you still refuse to pay these taxes, then, since it's the law,
you'll go to jail.
To jail someone for tax evasion,
you will go to jail.
Which is also, in this case, a form of debtor's prison, which was also abolished, before. But correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that holding someone hostage? In a manner of speaking? I mean,
let's put it this way.
But it's the Republicans.
Extortion is the name of the game. That's the word you're actually looking for.
That's such a dirty word.
It's not hostage taking. It's extortion.
How about strong arm robbery?
That works because everything that the government does, it does at the point of a gun.
Well, dude, before we can leave, now I've got 2 pieces of audio before we can get through tonight. We got just a little bit left here on the plate. But I can't, have the show without letting the president speak for himself because I do not want to be accused of putting words in his mouth.
Let me be clear. We're going to let the president talk.
That's right. We got to be fair. All right?
Well, and y'all don't have to worry. There won't be so much stuttering because he did have a teleprompter. So,
I don't know. There might be a little stuttering. This is the president, and he do stutter when he lie. So,
as I've said repeatedly, I am prepared to work with Democrats and Republicans to do the things we need to do to grow the economy and create jobs and get our fiscal house in order over the long run. Although I should add, this shutdown isn't about deficits or spending or budgets. After all, our deficits are falling at the fastest pace in 50 years. We've cut them in half since I took office. In fact, many of the demands the Republicans are now making would actually raise our deficits.
Pants on fire.
So no, this shutdown is not about deficits. It's not about budgets. This shutdown is about rolling back our efforts to provide health insurance to folks who don't have it.
Liar.
It's all about rolling back the Affordable Care Act. This, more than anything else, seems to be what the Republican Party stands for these days. I know it's strange that one party would make keeping people uninsured the centerpiece of their agenda. But that apparently is what it is. And of course, what's stranger still is that shutting down our government doesn't accomplish their stated goal. The Affordable Care Act is a law that passed the House, it passed the Senate, the Supreme Court ruled it constitutional. It was a central issue in last year's election. It is settled, and it is here to stay. And because of its funding sources, it's not impacted by a government shutdown. And these Americans are here with me today because even though the government is closed, a big part of the Affordable Care Act is now open for business. And for them, and millions like them, this is a historic day for a good reason. It's been a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which lie do we talk about first?
There's too many. You did say we were getting towards the end of the show here.
True.
We don't have time to cover all of them.
Well, generally, what he just said, that's pretty much what you're going to hear from MSNBC, NBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, HLN, Current,
but frankly,
and Al Jazeera.
It's beneath the dignity of the office of the president to go on national TV and whine to the American people because you're not getting your way.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it is definitely beneath the dignity of the office to lie,
even though
and tell people that the Republicans are the ones who won't negotiate.
You know, it's funny. Just about every single poll, I mean, like even CBS's poll had the people pretty much blaming the president and the Democrats. I mean, that's they don't want to talk about that part. But CBS's own poll lays the blame for this at their feet. The American people are not as stupid as he really
there ain't
hopes
quite as
that we
many
are.
low information voters as